Hey guys, it's Crozo, and today I'm going to talk about Mythic Sunking, how you should play the fight, what kind of build you should bring, and just in general, like how Warlock is most helpful for the fight. So the first thing I want to do is talk about talents. For this fight, these are the talents I run. It's pretty much your normal single target build, except you're running Absolute Corruption instead of Siphon Life. There's so many ads in this fight, and there's so much going on. Having Absolute Corruption is this is very, very helpful to keep uptime on the boss as well as all the ads. There are people who brought Siphon Life, but a majority of people, including myself, think this is better, and it just feels a lot better too. One thing to note is that I am among like a few other warlocks. If you look at the logs for this fight, about 80% or 90% of warlocks use demonic synergy, the legendary that increases your damage by 10%, just our best normal legendary. But in my group, I was the one who used the slowing legendary, Sacrilash. Sacrilash makes it so that anybody who has your corruption is slowed by 50%, and corruption does more damage. That's not the important part. They're slowed by 50%, and with absolute corruption, your corruption's permanent. So I can, when the Phoenix is spawned in this fight, because in Mythic, the Phoenix is never despawn. When the Phoenix is spawn, it's my job with this legendary to tap target them and corruption them. So they're permanently slowed, and it's so much easier to deal with for your group. It's actually like a lifesaver. Your guild is going to appreciate it a lot, but they might not notice like who's doing it. But if you have this legendary, you know, you're the only warlock in your group, or there's more than one, you should talk to your co-workers, your warlock friends, about who has it and who can run it. You can still perform with this legendary too. I did pretty well. Really well actually. Using this one over synergy, and it's just so, it makes the fight go so much easier. But yeah, so talents, Drain Soul, it's just good. You can generate soul shards extra on ads that are about to die. Better for keeping up Shadowy Embrace, blah blah blah. It's good. Corruption. Either of these two are fine. I pretty much always run Demon Skin, like every fight. I like Demon Skin a lot. My healing process are insane. I love healing. That being said, though, Burning Rush is also fine. You have to move a little bit in this fight, but not enough to really warrant having the extra move speed. Either one's fine, you know, it's up to you. Singularity is the best single target here. The ads aren't going to live long enough for Vile Taint, and so the Seeds is never really all that great. Vile Taint will just put a dot and everybody in the area, but it's better just to have Singularity. IMO. Yeah, this is better, I think. Mortal Coil is really good. One thing about Mortal Coil and Fear is that whenever the assassins start casting their turn to stone, you can fear them and it will cancel their cast. So if you're close enough in range to Mortal Coil, and it's got a travel time, you gotta remember that too. But you can Mortal Coil, you know, instantly tap target it, Mortal Coil the assassin, and fear it to cancel the cast, and it won't heal back to full health, which is really nice. The problem with that though is you're a bit out of range, so sometimes fear is better. But just keeping in mind, you can use your CC to interrupt the assassin's healing to full health is really dope. And also just healing for 20% health is great. I like Haunt in this fight. Haunt feels really good. I've seen some people use Dark Caller, but very few. I feel like Haunt is just better overall, because this fight is really about priority damage on one target. Even though you're hitting a bunch of ads or whatever, you're really trying to prioritize like one thing at a time. And then in the last row, Misery is just the best. 2-minute cooldown, like I said, you want to have damage on our priority target, and this is when you need the damage. You get the extra haste. It's really good. And then for Soulbinds, pretty standard. You go Naya, Focus Malignancy, of course, like always. Just the best AF conduit. I say it every video. So good. I like, you know, Momentum. You're not really going to use like your teleport that much this fight anyways. The movement is like very small when you have to move, so yeah, this one doesn't really matter that much. For defense conduits, I like Bloodstone on this fight. I didn't use Bloodstone actually in my kills, but that's because honestly, I never remember to come change my conduits. But if you're proccing on it, I think it's good to have your stuff set up properly the first time. So Bloodstone I feel like is nice, because you don't really have the time to drain. I mean, you can, but you're losing a lot, right? So having the extra leech over time is just better, I think. Because the fight does have a lot of damage, but it's all avoidable damage. Okay, most of it's avoidable damage. For your second potency, I like to go double potency. For second potency, I like Cold Embrace, because instead of doing 9% extra damage with your Shadowy Embrace, it's like 13% or so with this conduit. Mine's only 200, so I find that to be very helpful. I've seen some people play Rolling Agony, but my group, we're all really high item level. We pretty outgear it. I'm 225. Most people in my guild are pretty high as well. So the extra duration on this isn't going to be all that great because the ads are going to be dying quick enough as it is. So I'd rather have the extra damage than the boss that I want. And then poison, you know, you need this for the potency. Yeah, so those are soulbinds and conduits. So in Mythic, the differences for Sun King is he's gonna have the shield, right? Whenever the shade comes down, he's gonna have a shield. You try and go for 2 shields, right? After about 20 seconds, 25 seconds, he casts it and it's 480k damage. You have to break through within like 6 seconds. If you don't break it in 6 seconds, you take 2 million damage, which is an insta wipe. So this shield has to be broken, and your raid leader is gonna help coordinate like 2 burst groups, right? If you get more than 2 shields, it's also a wipe pretty much. So that's the strat. You break both shields and then phase him, and then you kill ads in between. Shade comes back down again, you break 2 shields, and then you're done with the boss. You kill him. And how it's set up is you should have like half the group bursts the first shield, half the group bursts the second shield. They come out at like the time they come out is always after the same mechanics in a set order, so you can prepare for it ahead of time, and it's really easy. As a warlock, before the shield comes out, it's very important you have all of your damage up, because it's only a 6-second window. If you don't have like your soul rot or UA up or something, and you try and refresh it during the shield window, you're missing out on like half your damage. It's so bad. You have to have your things up beforehand. But once I get into the VOD, I'll show you like exactly when it's about to come out, so you can be prepared. It's like it's always sequential. It's always like the same order of abilities, so you know when it's gonna come out every time, as long as you prepare. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, if you are the warlock running this the legendary, oh whoops, if you're running this the legendary, you're gonna have to step a bit out of your way to try and tab target the phoenixes, but it's not that bad actually. All right, let's get into the VOD. Alright, so here's the VOD of the kill that my, like the second or third kill my guild had, I think. I don't know exactly which one. But so when the fight starts, sorry, before I start. When the fight starts, our healers are just go straight into the boss and heal him really fast. Depending on how good your guild's healing is and stuff like that, you'll play this part a bit differently. But our guild's healing is insane. So they heal the boss to 45% in like 20 seconds or something. None of us have to go click pedestals. But if you have to click a pedestal, you know, that's how your guild's doing it, then go do what your leader says. On pull, since we do it so fast, I'm only using my 1 minute or less cooldowns, which is actually just my PvP badge, Soul Rot, and then Singularity. Because if I use anything else, it won't be up in time for the shield. Watch here, when the ads come out, I just try and do a bit of damage to them, as much as I can, right? But having mages and boomies and everything else, I'm not going to do anything compared to them. You know, just do damage, whatever. See there, I tried to fear the assassin. It had like 5 health anyways, but fearing the assassin canceled his turn to stone. Alright, so Shade of Kael'thas is gonna come down. We want to kill this guy, but watch what I do when the Shade comes down first. Before I even target the Shade, I go straight for his phoenixes. Since I'm running Sacrolash, these phoenixes are slowed, right here, slowed by 50% until, you know, actually they've done that forever. The thing with phoenixes though is that when they die, they lose all their debuffs and then they respawn again. So whenever they respawn after like 30 seconds or something, 40 seconds maybe, you have to tap target them again with corruption to slow them, but it's fine. It's just a one-time thing. Yeah, they're slow as hell now, look at that. Also, you'll notice here too, I put agony on both of them, right? You might think, well, what's the point? Well, agony, you get soul shards sometimes from agony, and having it on more targets the entire fight is really going to add up to a lot more raptures than normal. Having these agonies just going ham the entire time is really going to help you out. Also, you can pad a bit too. Makes you feel better about your parse. But, yeah. Nice. I guess another side benefit too is that a dead phoenix is better than a slow one. So watch here. The first shield is going to come up soon. Ember Blast, whatever, doesn't matter. He's going to do the big frontal cone right now. After this cone, he casts Fiery Strike.
18 seconds.
and then like 3 seconds or so after this fiery strike, he's gonna do his orb, his shield. So if your leader says, "Hey, warlocks, you're bursting on the first shield," right about now is when I would start doing like my soul rot, singularity, trinkets and stuff, dark lair, and get ready to go ham. And then because I'm at 4 or 5 shards ready, it's really good. I'll be able to burst all my shards straight into the thing. Watch, we weren't really prepared for it, so as it's gonna start, you see I'm like tab targeting other random shit. I didn't know the timing, but I made sure I found the timing out so I can tell you guys, so you don't mess it up like we did. So right, like 3 seconds after that fiery strike, shield comes out. And watch how bad my damage is here, because I miss like half of the shield duration. It's crazy. It's halfway over, and I got my first rapture cast off.
Yeah,
that was really bad. Yeah. But I'm glad I was in the second group, so it didn't matter too much. But my relative damage was not good.
Careful of this blazing surge.
So here, the second shield comes out in a little bit. He does another frontal cone. The cone doesn't matter. After that cone, he's going to do Ember Blast, right? Ember Blast is the one where it puts the circle under your feet, then it blows up. As the Ember Blast is about to come out, if you're soaking the second one, or breaking the second one, do what I do here. As it's coming out, I start using Soul Rot, Singularity, all my cooldowns and everything. And as soon as Ember Blast ends, I step out of the fire stuff on the ground and start rapturing immediately. Here, watch.
Stuck back really far, so we only hit
all my cooldowns are up, and I'm instantly rapturing.
Nice.
Yeah, so that time we pumped through it a lot faster because we were prepared for it. But you can see, instead of getting like 1.5 raptors off or something like the first one, I got 3 before my entire group killed it. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is a lot. And then from here, we just want to try and get him to 45% so he phases. So instead of trying to build up shards and save for whatever else, I'm just using them whenever they come up. Because we need to get him to 45% as fast as possible. If we get a third shield, it's pretty much a wipe, because then infusers are going to come out, or we don't have enough damage to break through the shield a third time, and it's just no bueno. We get it, it's very close, but we get it there, which is awesome. Also, sorry, I'm talking too much. I want to note here, these phoenixes just respawned, right? And you see this one, they respawned, this one doesn't have corruption yet. So I have to tab target them with corruption again to make sure they don't run around and just destroy the room. Because in Mythic, these phoenixes never despawn.
What?
They're up the entire fight. If they're dead, they aren't, you know, attacking you or whatever, but you need to make sure you're watching them, if that's your job. If it's not your job, whatever. That being said too, if you're not the one slowing them, it's still not a bad idea to put Agony for the soul shards anyways. There's not much to say here. I'm going to call this part phase 2, right? So here in phase 2, when the shade's back up and they're healing him a second time, you can do a pedestal or whatever for a little bit. But when these occultists spawn, these occultists should be your priority. I'm healing this, and then I kind of waste time over here. I throw like a random gateway, and I'm not killing them when they come up. But it's very important, the back here on blue, these occultists come out. You need to go there and kill them immediately. Actually, I'm going to upload a clip here of a different kill I have, where I actually go back and do that correctly. Because they cast this really big debuff on the raid if they're interrupted, and it's better just to kill them than waste time interrupting. Occultists, and then assassins, and then vanquisher is priority, I think, here.
Cultists. Oh, that's weird. They're really far away. I shouldn't drift one in.
So right now I'm just trying to do a little bit of damage, just chilling.
Here's the
Do you have him? Go ahead and him.
Alright, so yeah, we killed the occultists, and now we're just chilling, trying to clean up these assassins.
He should be phasing.
You watch here too, right? I feared this guy, so it stops his turn to stone.
Got one fawn at 50%.
I don't know if you saw that, but I feared him. He's casting it.
Got one fawn at 50%.
And then he got feared, it cancelled it. He doesn't heal to full health. Saves us a lot of time. If you have ads, like these assassins just resetting, putting this bleed in everybody, it's really no bueno. So here, when the shade comes down, he spawns more phoenixes too. He comes in the second time, so instead of having 2, there's 4, so I gotta make sure I have them slowed. There's a bunch of ads up, and you'll see that I'm clicking randomly, hitting random stuff with dots. It's really messy what I'm doing in this phase here, because I wasn't prepared for it, right? You need to make sure you have your priorities straight. If you're the warlock who is slowing the phoenixes, priority here is to slow those phoenixes first thing, and then put up agony and whatever else. If you're not the warlock slowing them, in that case, make sure you're trying to pelt these assassins super hard, and then dots in the boss. And if the Vanquisher is still up, obviously have dots on the Vanquisher too, because the Vanquisher will kill your tanks after a while. He hits pretty hard.
Alright, I'm hemming here.
And then we're chilling.
Focus on DPS.
Also, the shield rotation is the same in this phase as it is at the beginning. So the first one is going to come, he's doing Ember Blast. He'll do the Frontal Cone, Fiery Strike. Oh, sorry, Fiery Strike, Frontal Cone. After the Frontal Cone, wait a second. Yeah, the Frontal Cone, sorry.
Fuck, I hit last time.
And then like 3 seconds or so, 4 seconds after this, he's going to do the shield. Like right about now. And then I was a bit more ready for it this time. Also, notice here, I didn't refresh my UA, right? If I waste time refreshing UA during the shield, it's going to mess me up. So, yeah.
Trying to move. I'm gonna move big, so try to get more towards the middle of the
I
road.
should have most of my cooldowns up for the last one as well. And we have Lust that'll hopefully be going into it. I'd say right now is about a good time to use your potion as well. I'd use mine there, yeah. So the light fight's only last for about 25 or 30 seconds more, so I wanted to make sure I had my thing up. After this Ember Blast, I go straight into it, so I make sure I have my stuff up. And I can go straight into Raptures. All my stuff was already on the boss.
Good job. Third.
And then now it's the GG, you just gotta finish him up.
I wanted to see how much it hurt through Parkson. Was it
That
just?
hurts.
Good shit.
Not the worst, but it hurts.
Nice.
Logging. Has some trees.
There we go.
It was
I'm not live logging, but
Alright, yeah, so that is my commentary over Sunking. I know I paused and clipped it a lot in this video, more than others, but there's a lot to say in a short amount of time in this fight specifically, because the fight ends really fast. Like out of the other fights we've done, this is probably the fastest one. Yeah, thanks for watching. And if you noticed too, in the video, all of those, actually those were all clips from my stream. I normally stream my guild's raid night, Tuesday, Thursday, like 8 to 11 or so. I'll link that in the description of this video and put it on my thing. If you're interested in watching live, that'd be awesome. Not required, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, thanks again. Hopefully this helps you parse better on Mythic Sun King or get your first kill, you know. But yeah, thanks again. Have a good day, guys.